Hello, and welcome to another intriguing episode of Furries in the Media. I'm your host, Abergwine, and today, let's look at NBC's coverage of the Furries of Anthrocon.
What is a furry? Well, furries are fans of anthropomorphic characters. Those are animals with human characteristics.
This has to be the best definition of furries that I've heard in my review series.
Anthrocon, like any convention, has hundreds of sessions and panels to attend. There's video gaming, puppetry, and a dance-off.
She even got a schedule and listed off some of the events that go on at the convention, so I have to give her credit for sticking to the source material.
Would you like a hug, sir?
The hug is the furry handshake.
You know, I don't think there's a better way they could have put that.
Some furries are from movies or TV. And Robbie is your real name or your...
No, that's the character. This is Robbie Sinclair from Dinosaurs.
But most furries are made up. Most of the paw-patting, tail-trailing, fur-suited folks we meet are dressed up as alternate versions of themselves. The character they'd want to be if they were an animal.
They take a mature approach to defining what a fursona is. It seems like so many other reports get this wrong by oversimplifying it down to furries want to be animals. Which might be true for a handful of folks, but is not true for everyone in the furry community.
I think it would be unfair to say this does not look strange to people.
John Cole is director of operations here.
It's not the social norm for people to want to put on a costume and cover their head. In the same way that it's not the social norm for people to paint one side of their face one color and the other color and start screaming about their favorite football team, outside of a football game.
The director of operations recognizes that dressing in a fursuit outside of a convention space is considered weird by our society, but he also mentions that covering your face in paint outside of a sporting event is also not considered normal. Most furries have an understanding that what we do for fun is considered weird by others.
Some furries just need a tail or a pair of ears to transform into their fursona. But others, full fursuiters as they're called, can spend upwards of several $1,000s on a costume that they might only wear a handful of times each year.
These are both accurate points. Fursuits are expensive, and most fursuit owners don't live in their suits. I just wanted to take a moment here to illustrate the price of a typical fursuit. A mascot costume, like you might see at a high school football game, can cost anywhere from about $200 to $1,600. A super custom-made bespoke suit can range anywhere from $2,800 to $4,800. The price of a fursuit can widely vary based on a lot of factors, but the price range for a typical fursuit of decent quality, with most of the parts included, can start anywhere from $1,700 to $3,000. Fun fact! The highest auction price that's ever been set for a fursuit is $11,575.
That they might only wear a handful of times each year. At conventions like this, or for kids or charity events.
Actually, the proceeds from a lot of furry conventions go to charity, and a lot of fursuiters see local charity events as a good opportunity to go out and wear their suits while also helping their community.
But the furries' reputations aren't always so pure.
The adult thing has always been really popular in the fandom.
Jeff Eddy publishes furry literature, of all types.
Some will call it a fetish, but it's really a different way of kind of looking at these same sort of romantic themes.
So it's just animal characters replacing human characters in the same kind of adult novels.
Yep, exactly.
They approach the adult-oriented side to the fandom in a mature, respectful manner. Good on them.
There's also this perception out there that a lot of this has like a very kinky edge to it.
I'm sure it happens, and it not everybody. You could take any walk of life and you're going to find all extreme.
I feel like this guy's response sums up most of the furry community's stance on the adult-oriented stuff. We are well aware of its existence, and there's no point in denying it because it is just a part of our fandom. It's not always the norm in most cases, but we accept it as a part of being in this community.
So what would my fursona be? I enlisted the help of furry fans Linnea and Buzzy. He's the penguin.
First thing you need to do is actually pick the animal that you would like to be.
Beagles, they're very social, they like to run around. And
What are really social?
Beagles.
Beagles. I like beagles. Yep. Let's see if we can find someone who can help me realize my vision. Would the short ears work? When you say real tails, what does that mean?
It means that they actually came from an actual animal.
Oh,
So it's
these
real
are
fur.
real.
Yes.
Real tails.
Real fur.
Oh, okay.
This one's really cute.
Is this real or fake?
It's fake.
I like that one. I don't know about you guys.
That looks adorable.
This feels pretty weird.
So it's not for me.
I gotta give her credit. She could have just bought a tail and ears and called it a day, but taking on the challenge of coming up with a fursona? Oh boy. Some furries take months just to come up with a species for their fursona. Seriously, I'm giving her props just for trying. So, how did NBC stack up in the review stats? Accuracy is 100%, and the spirit of the clip is also 100%, giving us yet another score of 100%. Good job, NBC! And now my thoughts. I feel that this is how any story about furries or furry convention should be covered. The report focused on the general concept of the fandom first, and briefly mentioned the mature aspects of the fandom before leaving the viewer with a more innocent message. The reporter seemed to have a lighthearted, open-minded approach to the subject at hand, and even tried getting in on the act. She ultimately admitted that it wasn't for her, but I have nothing but respect for at least giving something a try before deciding that it's not your thing. Well, that's it for today's episode. Have fun, stay awesome. Bye-bye!
They seem pretty complicated to put together. I don't even know what that animal is. What is that?